So it's before 10 a.m. and it's a weekday, and I wake up early because my phone's blowing up and people are telling me to check the forbidden ban list for Master Duel. Um, I looked at the image that some people were sharing, and I literally didn't believe it because some of the changes were just wacky. And I'm gonna and scroll down and see if it's actually real. I had to load up the client because I didn't believe that some of these changes were real changes. So let's get into it. So first off, cards to be forbidden, Hallie Fibrex, totally believable. And when I saw that, I'm like, oh yeah, that one could definitely be real. And I'm actually glad to see that. So come September 30th, these changes go into effect, and Hallie Fibrex is finally going to be out of the metagame, and I'm actually really happy about that. I recently started running the cards in some of the card in some of my decks, but I'm so fatigued from seeing it in the meta in both the TCG and on Master Duel. So having this card go is really nice. Cards to be limited: Water Enchantress of the Temple. So this is an early hit, and normally I wouldn't feel super great about a relatively new archetype being hit on the list, but Adventure just has been kind of sucking the fun out of Master Duel for a while, and I feel like a lot of players that are really fatigued from seeing Adventure in the meta are going to be happy to see Water Enchantress going to 1. Will the deck still be playable after it goes to 1? I don't know. I never really liked playing Adventure, so I never really picked it up. Cards to be semi-limited. So, Rivalry of Warlords and Goes in Match being semi-limited. This is interesting. I do think that it helps a little bit with some of the floodgate issues that have been happening. I saw those and I was like, that could be fake, but it also could be real. Um, but seeing that, very interesting. Rivalry going to 2 kind of hurts the Zombie World lock deck. That's not super popular, but I do know that it was an anti-meta choice a lot of people were running, so was worth mentioning. Goes in match going to 2, I agree with. And personally, when I was running Floodgate decks, I didn't run more than 2 anyway, because I just felt 3 was really bricky, but that's just me. Next we have Regeki going to 2. Lightning Storm's at 3. I feel like we can have 2 Regekis. I do feel like Regeki is more powerful if you're looking for just monster destruction. I personally like Lightning Storm because you can do front row or back row, but Regeki not having the limit of destroying only face-up attack position cards and not having the limit of you can't have face-up cards to activate it, I feel like does make it really powerful. So having this go to 2, it's interesting. I don't really know how many people are actually going to run in it too, but it's interesting. Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Bear going to 2. I feel like if Mirror Jade can be at 3, Trish can be at 2, and people are going to say, well, Mirror Jade's not a generic synchro, but you can make it off branded fusion with 1 card. Like Trish arguably is actually harder to bring out. And yes, I know it also does the grave, but I don't know. I feel like Trish being at 2 is going to be okay. I might be wrong on this. But next we get to Zenmaity. And Zenmaity going to 2, I think is also fine. I don't think we're going to see the wind-up hand loop very much. And if we do, there are so many cards with the graveyard effects to where it might not matter as much in the meta. We'll see how that plays out. It's a little weird to see it going to 2, but I don't know. They put it to 2. Next we have ABC Dragon Buster, and I could not believe this. So I don't think the deck is going to do a ton in the meta, but I cannot believe that Konami is going to free my boy ABC Buster Dragon. Like, it is about time. I'm going to play ABCs. I'm going to play the heck out of ABCs as soon as this list takes effect. Now, I don't think they're going to do too much in the meta, but I am over the moon happy that Buster Dragon has finally been freed. Freed my boy Buster. Trickstar Light Stage going to 2. That's okay. I don't think Trickstars are going to do too much. Uh, and honestly, the deck might see a little bit of play now that Light Stage is at 2. Red Reboot going to 2. I don't know how to feel about that. I honestly couldn't believe it too much. I guess they want to crack down on Floodgate decks on Master Duel, which I'm not too pleased about because I like playing slower decks for fun sometimes, like Subterrors. But Reboot going to 2 is interesting. I feel like Reboot going to 2 also uh, kind of checks Altergeist more now that they got double Multi-Faker back. But like, who was playing that deck to begin with? Even after Multi-Faker went like back to 2, I don't see Altergeist that much. I really don't. Next, we have Dino Wrestler Prankatops going to 2. And for everyone that played in the TCG when this card was at 3, 2 copies of Prankatops is pretty decent. It's a generic removal. I wouldn't sleep on it. Dinosaurs get a little bit of a power boost from it. So I feel like that's helpful to whatever Dino decks are in the meta. Maybe they wanted to make the new Dino deck that just came out a little bit more powerful. The name's escaping me right now. Next, we have Spiral Quick Fix going to 2. I'm not happy about this. This is why I thought the list was fake. Quick Fix is a really, really good card. I don't think people are going to machine dupe it for 2. I could be wrong. But Spirals do not need to come back in any way. I don't feel like they really need the support, and I was happy with the deck being dead. I kind of felt like the deck was really degenerate. So Quick Fix going to 2 is not something I want. I hope that it doesn't see a lot of play. I hope that Spirals don't really enter the meta at all. I don't know if they'll do very much, but the deck is just not very fun to play against. So I hope that they stay dead and that Quick Fix doesn't go to 3 on the next list. Next, we have Double Iris Magician going to 2. I don't like playing against Pendulums that much either, but I agree with this. I think that Double Iris Magician really should have been at 2 for a while now in Master Duel. I feel like Pendulums are underpowered in Master Duel. And I know there's going to be people in the comments down below being like, well, I have Diamond 1 with Pendulum. That's great. I proved you can get Diamond with like anything when I got Diamond with Karibos. Double Iris Magician going to 2 kind of needed to happen. Pendulums were underpowered. Disagree with me if you want, but I feel like they really did need to go to 2. I still didn't believe that because I just didn't think Konami would ever free Double Iris to 2. Next, we have Harp Horror going to 2. So I love Orchist. I'm happy about this. I know there are going to be some people that are salty. I don't think that the deck is super powerful right now. I do kind of like the fact that they can do some stuff with the good XYZ that they have and the recurability that they have. But I feel like the deck is probably not going to be super powerful even with Harp at 2. But Harp going to 2 makes the deck more playable, and I feel like we're probably going to be seeing some Orchis decks just because I know there are a lot of people like me that really miss playing it. And I played it in the TCG before they even got their full support, like upon release, just because I really liked how much fun the archetype is. So there was a lot of bias there from me, but I'm really happy about this. And I was just like, there's no way that this list is real. There's no way Konami's going to put Harp 2. It's still banned in the TCG, I believe. But Harp going to 2 is amazing. Next, we have the cards that are going to be freed from the list. We have Beginning of the End and Harmonizing Magician. So that's just cool. Beginning of the End. What did that card even do? I'm gonna have to look this up real quick. We're having a quick sidebar, you guys. Beginning of the End, YuGiOh. I know that like it's definitely something that can be at 3. The effect's not that broken. I ran it way back before in a Chaos deck. If you have 7 or more dark monsters in your grave, banish 5 darks, draw 3. Yeah. Yeah, that can go to 3. Harmonizing Magician is, I think, more Pendulum support. Yeah, that's more Pendulum support, and that card can also be at 3. Honestly, that's the one. That's the effect and tuner Pendulum. Yeah. Um, and the next, I think I missed one on the cards to be limited. Water Enchantments of the Temple. Okay, because I saw online that people said that Spellbook of Judgment was coming off the list. I don't see that on here. Spellbook of Judgment coming off the list like that. I was like, oh hell no, that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. So I'm gonna go and skim for that again real quick. Da 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 da. Compile trends. Made list the decks. Cards to be forbidden limited. Cards whose maximum number is increased. Cards to be forbidden. Highly Fabrics. Card to be limited. Water Enchanters to the Temple. Yeah, you no longer be able to. Okay, so I'm very glad that Spellbook of Prophecy is not coming back, because that is just no. Just no. So I am glad that that was fake. Spellbook of Judgment does not need to come back. Just at all. Um, I'm very glad that that was fake. Like, Spellbook of Judgment never needs to come back. But yeah, that's my honest reaction to this ban list. I think that some stuff is a little bit nutty. I can't believe they put ABC Buster Dragon to 2. I don't think it's going to do a lot in the meta, but I'm going to play the shit out of that deck now. ABC was like one of my favorite decks of all time. Same with Orchist. So yeah, that's the list, and I am still a little bit surprised about this, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.